What a day, what a day, what a day. Oh boy, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, the Diddy man's in. He ain't playing, even though he locked up. His power ain't locked up. He letting it be known. He gonna flex his muscle when he ready to flex his muscle. And he gonna let it be known. How he go out is on his terms. Nobody else's. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's go for a ride. Now, Sean Diddy Combs has decided to go out and sue Netflix and the company partners who have put together this documentary called Sean Combs The Reckoning that has footage that was from a videographer that was hired supposedly by Sean Combs for a documentary he was supposed to do, in which he was in negotiations with Netflix. In a very similar situation, such as we seen with I just saw the Kill Bill 5-hour marathon, both movies in one, and then there's an extra animated scene at the very end of both of the movies. So, in case you were wondering. Now, okay, my lights are working. Let's get down to business so that everybody understand what this is. Now, Sean Diddy Combs decided to press this lawsuit because he feels that this was a hit piece on his brand, his name. There was a lot of inaccurate, salacious things said about him, and he thinks this is retaliatory on the fact that the documentary, they didn't get a chance to come through with the documentary. So they went and got 50 Cent to come after him in this said documentary. So while they look at it as a hit piece and said, hey man, these people are coming after you. This ain't right. Everybody else sees it a little differently. Sean Diddy Combs is saying, you guys have violated me. And Netflix decided to respond, of course, because they have a #1 streaming, whatever it is, for this week, because everybody's doing it out of curiosity. And they're tuning in to see it. I watched it. It's trash. Based on all the lies that were told. Then at the end, they're trying to act like they're cleaning something up by putting some jurors in there who giving their opinions. Hell, they damn near convicting Diddy for Tupac's murder. I'm like, you're interviewing teaser tales who don't know Diddy, who don't know anything about any of this. Why is she in the dock? She put out the most salacious and biased information on Sean Diddy Combs and talked as if it was facts and true. that takes away the credibility of your documentary. So Netflix responds and said, hey, this is not retaliatory. We have done everything legally to protect the identity of the person who made the video. That we got the footage from. We did everything in the legal matter. We purchased the film. That person had rights to it and had a right to sell it to whoever they wanted. Like, I guess you didn't secure what they wanted and they sold it to another person. So, however Diddy's deal is with them, I don't know. So, anyway, as it goes to hiring people to do a hit piece and retaliate against Sean Diddy Combs because of the Netflix deal that they were in negotiations for that fell through, they said no. 50 Cent had nothing to do with the creation of the documentary. He came through as a executive producer of the documentary, but he had nothing to do with the creation of it, which is pretty crazy. Then what did he do? Then another shocking statement was made when they said nobody was paid. I'm like, what? We didn't pay anybody. So Netflix is saying they didn't pay anybody to do the documentary. So there is nothing to sue for because nobody was paid. So what? They all came on their own? You got all these money-hungry individuals who are suing Diddy in civil cases for nonsense, saying they want to do this documentary for free. They all want to come together and do this for Diddy against Diddy. Man, get the hell up out of here, man. Netflix has found a way to cover its bases. Okay? They covered all of their tracks, and Diddy might not get a dime out of Netflix for this. But he's the fact that he says that he's suing and made that so public it flashes a big light on the whole situation as a whole. This has nothing to do with 50 Cent. They didn't sue 50 Cent. Diddy did not sue 50 Cent. He sued the companies that were involved. Now, a lot of people saying G-Unit Studios is behind the makings of it. Now, once again, like I said, I found no information in this situation here. So I'm just like, G-Unit Studios wasn't used in this. So I think they're mixing things up. Some people are with information. I think G-Unit Studios might have been used in the other lawsuit that 50 Cent has in another situation that has nothing to do with Diddy. It has nothing to do with Netflix, with the Skill House lawsuit with Ryan. What's his name? Knopf. So that's a whole different lawsuit altogether. That's a whole different thing. It's nothing connected with Diddy or nothing. It has nothing to do with anything. It's an entirely different lawsuit. That one is involving 50 Cent. He's suing for $5 million. That has nothing to do with this. Well, the thing is that this documentary, even though it was well put together, when you put people in a documentary, this is why I don't like documentaries that much, especially when they're like hit pieces. You can make anybody seem guilty in a documentary. You just have people up there talking, they're showing images, and then people start thinking, yeah, he did it. That don't make sense. Why is that guy there? Yeah, that guy there knows Diddy, and that guy knows him, so he must have did it. It's like, people are so stupid nowadays. It's just unbelievable. They got him damn near connected to the 94 shooting. Everybody know he got nothing to do with that. I mean, nothing to do with it whatsoever. Everybody by now knows why the 94 shooting happened, the whole reason, everything. That's not even a mystery. The people who were involved, every single last one, they all know. But yet and still, you got people still going around. Why is he there? Who else was in the building? What's going on here? And I'm like, why is people keep trying to add on to the story? Everybody knows who was there, who was supposed to be there, who wasn't there. What are they doing? Yeah, rewriting history, man. It's crazy. The internet allowed these people to do this. Now, here's where it gets tricky. In the lawsuit, if they find out that, let's say that this person was paid and they went through all of this to try to hide this person, why would you go through so many avenues to try to hide the person that you paid for the video and the identity? Why are you trying to hide it, Netflix? Unless you did something torturous. Remember, this happened with Kanye West. Kanye West didn't win his lawsuit, and the documentary was done anyway by the people who owned the film. You remember, what's his name, Cootie from Channel Live, who was making all these videos? They had a deal with Kanye West, Netflix. They were working on the documentary, and when all the commotion happened with Kanye West, they kind of pulled out when he started making those rants. So now the deal got pulled out, but all of a sudden, here comes this documentary, still with Kanye West in the footage. And they felt like, well, we already had an agreement with Kanye West, and then we had the footage that's being paid for. We're just going to work with these guys and cut them out. Kanye was like, you can't do that. That's still my likeness and everything else. So my likeness rights is protected. So he tried to sue to stop them from releasing the documentary. But as you know, that documentary still came out, and there was nothing they could do about it. Netflix seems like they're very keen on dotting their I's and crossing their T's, no matter how corrupt it might seem to be. Now, when I see people who were lying in the courtroom and lying on trial and lying up there on the stage, it lets me know exactly what I'm dealing with. That's all. It just lets me know what I'm dealing with. 100% around the board. It lets me know. I looked at the situation, and you know what I said? I said, oh, okay, I get it. They, yeah, okay, they got enough money, they got enough lawyers, they got enough power. Diddy is not in a position, he's locked up. This is all gonna be for show, and then it's gonna die out in a week. But you got all of these people people up here lying. I mean, bold-faced lying. You got a woman up there reading a letter that some mystery person that she don't know wrote a letter talking about they saw them get violated by Diddy, and she has no recollection of it. So why are you reading the letter in the documentary? And you still in the documentary saying, oh my God, I hope that didn't happen to me. This person walked in the room and saw this happening. This is what made the story so egregiously stupid. You walked in the room and saw them getting down. So you decided to do what? I opened the door, I saw them getting down, and I saw them. I saw Diddy down there, and I saw another guy on top. And then I saw her thing, it was all the way off. She seemed intoxicated. How you see all that just walking through the door? So you just walk through the door and nobody does stop doing anything? They're just still getting down, even while you just walking through the door? Wouldn't they have a bodyguard on the door where somebody just wouldn't walk in if something like that is happening? But you are just allowed to walk in? In every situation, Diddy has had a bodyguard at the doors. But now, Mr. Lee, there's no bodyguard at the door. And you just walk on in the middle of all of this. And nobody stopped what they're doing. Then you just go back to the party. You tell one guy and he says, hey, shut up. Go back and party. Mind your own business. Okay. Then you go and party. Then you decide to write a letter in 2025. This is so much bad storytelling. It's horrible. And it's like, what is the point? What is the point? It's like, dog, all you doing is making it look worse. That documentary was ridiculous. Get some credible people to tell stories, not people with an axe to grind. You got all these broke bastards up here talking and blaming Diddy for why they being broke. This dude, I own 25% of Bad Boy. Then I had to sign it over because he had a baseball bat and he was standing over my hand and said, I need you to sign this. So I signed it. I'll be like, okay, when you signed it, did you go to the cops after that? No. Why wouldn't you go to the cops after that? Well, I thought, oh, you were thinking. Okay, that's something new. Okay, all right, you were thinking. So while you were thinking, you know, because that's what's important. You were thinking. So while you were thinking, you didn't think to go and contest it the next day and said I was under duress? I don't want to give up my 25%? You know you got the right to do that, right? And if you didn't know that, then you might be too dumb to be in your position anyway. Of course. Why do you act like that's a surprise? If somebody don't like each other, don't they normally gravitate to each other? If people don't like Kwame Brown, don't you think, didn't you see all those people form up who didn't like Kwame Brown all of a sudden? Then they all start forming together, right? People don't like LeBron James, then they all start forming up. When people don't like someone, they have something that they agree with, they all get in the line. So what make you think all these people lying on Diddy ain't forming up? Who you think was informing them up? These ambulance chasing ass lawyers. These ambulance chasing lawyers are liars. All they keep doing is coming up with more ways and more lies to get everybody. They're coercing the people, telling them what to say in lawsuits and stuff that never happened. When they first made the complaints, none of this stuff was in there. Then they started talking about I felt woozy. Now everybody's feeling woozy? Like, damn. Oh man, I had a sip of some drink and I drank it and I know I shouldn't have, but then I felt woozy. Felt like I was about to pass out. But I can remember everything. There was a red negligee over there, then there was some pills over there, and then there was some other drugs, and I think they forced it on me and they spiked my drink. I tried to get up, but I didn't have the strength. Then I can hear them saying this exactly. Then I'll be like, wow, this drug ain't doing what it's supposed to do then. If you can remember everything, what's the point of giving you the drink? These people, I'm like, does anybody is here thinking? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Then I gotta listen to Kurt Broke Barrels sit over here and lie about goddamn everything. Now, Kurt Barrows, you don't want to play with me. I done already seen your paperwork. I done seen everything. You was out here doing all kind of stuff, bro. You was wild out here in these streets, bro. Disgusting. Now, the rest of these people, the only thing Capricorn Clark can talk about is when she got her ass popped in the mouth. And the person that popped her in the mouth was the doggone security. And he made the security apologize to you for popping you in the mouth. For getting involved in Diddy business, the dude popped you in the mouth. It was in the trial. He apologized. Diddy made the guy apologize to you. And it was all good, and y'all smoked the blunt. Of course she was caught lying on the stand. What else she gonna do? She gonna lie. The kidnapping lie was enough right there. They the one lost the case. Then every time you turn around, here comes another news story. And I mean, every time they turned around, it was another news story. Now in the documentary, she trying to say, oh no, that's why I was like, hey Diddy, what's up, Diddy? I was trying to make him think everything is everything. Like everything is so good, and now, nope, now I'm testifying. It's like, really? Is that what you doing? That's pathetic, man. Absolutely pathetic. Hit the like button, y'all. Super chat work. Well, no, because if you're gonna do that route, and people are gonna make that kind of decision, you should know all the facts. To be honest, If you're willing to go that far, you should be willing to get all the facts. The majority of those people were independents. They had no grounds. They had no legs to stand on. These people were out there doing things they had no business doing. They were out there just spiraling. Now that the trial over, you don't get the freestyle and try to say, oh, well, this is why I was saying hey to Diddy and I was being all nice. No, because they brought it up in the trial, Trick. You was being all nice to him because that was you. You saw an opportunity to get some money. None of you went after Diddy criminally. Not one of you. All these broken down Mark Curry. Dude, you got paid for writing raps. That was your job, write rhymes. Then you weren't there no more. Why don't you go write rhymes for somebody else? Why don't you take your talents elsewhere? Nobody wanted to hire you to write rhymes, right? What happened? Do y'all think y'all getting money out of this? No, you're not. You think y'all gonna get famous off of this? No, you're not. Y'all are gonna be a distant memory, and Diddy is still gonna be a millionaire. And y'all gonna look real stupid in the end. And Netflix, not a good look. And you wonder why other people are watching other networks and they not dealing with y'all like that. This is why. This is why. So, yeah. Because now, they used to be the only show in town. But now you got Amazon. You got all these streaming networks now with the same material. And now that you got to contend with everybody, you ain't got that kind of pull no more. You ain't got that drawing power like you used to. Everybody got original programming too. So now it's like, damn, we used to have it all. Now we don't have it all. Now, you want to start hiring people to do dumb shit. And how your little pay-per-view boxing events go? See how quickly that faded out? And you see why you don't have the NBA? See why you don't have the NBA? Now, you're going to keep hemorrhaging money and raise the cost up to people going to say, I'm good on Netflix. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's what it's going to come to. Or they're going to get the illegal. But that's where everybody's headed. Because y'all are making it too expensive. You're raising these prices and nothing exciting is happening. So, in the end of the day, we gonna see. Netflix is hoping to buy Warner Brothers from HBO. Paramount Plus is in the deal. It's a bidding war going on, but we'll see what's happening with Warner Brothers Discovery. Well, I'm the kind that like waits and see what happens when it plays out. Warner Brothers has been a mess for years. That's why they keep screwing up all the DC movies. The worst thing ever happened to DC was Warner Brothers. Their involvement has altered everything. We're fighting to get the Brainiac finally that should have been out 10 years ago. You're wasting actors' careers, putting them on the line. So the thing is Netflix want to make a Rock versus Henry Cavill, Shazam versus Superman as their first movie, getting Warner Brothers and DC over there because Netflix has a contract already with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But we're gonna get into that later. Okay? So yes, thank you guys for hitting the like button. Don't forget to go to my Patreon. I'm gonna fill you guys in on that on the Patreon between The Rock and Henry Cavill, Superman versus Shazam. I'm gonna fill y'all in over there. I'm out.